Hi there, my name is Harman Chahal with Remax Litloke Realty, and today I have a very good friend of mine and somebody who's been doing their work for the longest time. I'll let him introduce himself, Mr. Camilo Rodriguez. So Camilo, very nice to have you on video with me. Thank you for taking the time out.
Thank you very much, Harman, for the invitation.
Oh, you're most welcome. So today I have some questions for you that a lot of my clients have been asking me, and the fact that we're putting this on Facebook and YouTube, a lot of other people will benefit from them. It is the common mortgage questions that people are asking me these days. We're hearing it in the news, on social media about the mortgage rules that are changing, that stress tests. So it's just questions, and a lot of people are not getting the clear answers from the articles. So I have the best man for the job.
Thank you.
So can you please tell us what you do and how long you've been doing it?
Well, I've got a company, Mortgages Lab. My wife and I founded the company in 2010, but I've been doing mortgages for about 15 years. So sometimes it's a dry subject, but I love it. I love mortgages. It's my passion.
Oh, very nice. And I've personally, seen Camilo's work, and he is amazing at his job. And that's why who better to ask these questions than Mr. Rodriguez. So tell us a little bit about stress tests. We've heard it on the news and all over the place. So can you tell us briefly what it is?
Yes, what the stress test does is ensures that the borrowers are able to afford a higher payment in the future should interest rates rise. So a lot of people are expecting interest rates to rise in the future, but what the government is doing is making sure that the new borrowers will be able to afford those payments in the future should that happen.
Sounds good. And when does this rule take effect?
So there is two portions. When your down payment is less than 20%, those rules are already in effect. Okay. What is going to happen as of January 1st is people that are buying with a down payment higher than 20%, the stress rules will apply.
Sounds good. And that's across the board, or is it the major banks, or who's?
It's going to be the major banks. At the moment, credit unions, which are governed provincially, will not need to comply with those changes, but there is a lot of talk that they may do that in the future. So at this moment, it's not 100% sure that they're going to follow, but it's very likely that they may.
Usually they tend to follow the bigger banks.
They would tend to follow, or the provincial regulator will make sure that the guidelines are similar.
What is the impact this stress test is having?
It's better to contact your mortgage broker directly, but on general terms, if a person right now is having or putting a down payment more than 20%, okay, as of January 1st, their buying power or their mortgage approval will be reduced by 20% on average.
20%.
To give an example, if you right now are pre-approved for $500,000, as of January 1st, that pre-approval may come down to about $400,000.
Sounds good. So they're taking the 20% buying power gets reduced. So if you can afford something today for $500,000, or let's say if you can buy a house for $1 million today, in the new year it'll be about $800,000.
Very good, right? Very good. And that's what it's doing, because the stress test, what is happening is that you need to qualify that mortgage not at the payment that the client is doing at the moment that they get the mortgage, but about 2% higher. So they may be able to. They have to be able to afford that payment at a 2% higher interest rate in the future if interest rates rise and their mortgage is coming up for renewal.
Sounds good. So if somebody's getting a mortgage at, let's say, 3.2%, they will be stress tested at 5.2%, is that correct?
Most likely it's going to be that. That's going to be the rate that we need to do the numbers at.
And a lot of people are also wondering which way the interest rates are going. So in the last few months, we have seen them, going up 0.25% at a time. I think it was in the last couple of months, they've already gone up, 0.5%. In the new year, which way do you think the interest rates are going?
Well, that's a very good question. And in the sense of simplicity or clarity or transparency, in my opinion, nobody knows. The banks do not know, the government does not know, and there is different rates that can go up and down. Variable rates usually are linked to the prime rate, which is set by the government, and fixed rates are basically they follow the bond yields, which is the open market or private funds. So one or the other can go up or down. In my opinion, nobody knows. My own opinion is that they're going to stay at the current levels for the next 12 months. I don't see big increases or decreases in the next 12 months.
Well, that is a good relief for a lot of us that are thinking if the interest rates go up, how will we afford something in the future, or how will we afford these payments that are going up every day? So that's a lot of good information, but I'm sure people have specific questions related to their mortgage. So how can somebody get in touch with you in case they have more questions?
They can Google my name, Camilo Rodriguez. They can go to my website, which is Camilo, CAMILO.ca, very simple, or call my cell number 604-308-1721.
I hope you have found this video useful. Please share it with your family and friends. And if you have any more questions, feel free to contact me anytime at my personal cell at 778-858-8147. Thank you.